good against Zerg, so they called him the Red Sniper, because Zerg is most often like red.
Yeah.
You know, so just cool nicknames like that. But anyhow, we have Overgrowth spawning in the bottom left as the blue Zerg, viOLet.
Whoop whoop. And the northeast position, representing what seems to be Team Carnage, he is Namshar.
And it looks like viOLet is going to be going for a 9 pool here.
We saw him do this yesterday, didn't we?
Yep.
Or maybe it was a 10 pool yesterday. I don't know.
Cheeky.
Cheeky.
So what does he want to go up against with this? He wants to go up against a hatch first. Will Namshar do it? Will he?
Ideal.
Now,
yesterday this happened on these spawns against a hatch first, and viOLet, he canceled the hatch, and then he went in and actually killed like 6 or some drones and put himself irrecoverably ahead.
Who was the Zerg? Oh, it was Minimath, right?
Yeah. He top-decked him, he wrecked him.
So let's see. Like, the thing is, like, for Namshar, and he is going for 15 hatch by the looks of it, if you think you're against a player that's very, very good, do you want to handicap yourself and go for a 15 pool, or like 14, 15 pool, and play it safe? And then he goes for a hatch first, and it's like, well, darn it.
Oh, darn. Oh, gosh. So...
what do you want me to say after you start saying things like that?
No. I just started focus. I'm sorry. I completely zoned out. I'm looking because I started focusing on the production tab. He's gonna build just 1 drone after his pool. So this is a 15 pool. And I think one of the things that really hurt Minimath yesterday was that he built a 16 pool after his hatch first.
And also his spawning pool blocked all his drones from getting out.
Yeah, that will also end up making you hate your life.
So Namshar has seen what he's up against. So you don't cancel the hatchery straight away. The reason you do that is...
you leave it as a meat shield.
You leave it as a meat shield. So your opponent has the option, do I kill this hatchery or cancel it from going up? Or do I just run into the main base? Whereas you want it to kind of act like a meat shield for quite some time.
Yeah, I never like to run it into the main base strategy. I'm glad he's just going to hug this hatchery until it collapses in on itself.
Right, and Namshar will wait for as long as possible before he actually cancels it. This buys him time to get out his own lings and his queen, which you see in production now, so... Ooh, is he going to cancel it? Oh! How do you feel about this?
He wants to use the broodlings? I mean, he was never going to be able to save it.
I actually think this is okay for Namshar.
Letting it finish?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying like he's in a terrible spot, but I still feel like there's no need to let it finish. It looks like he's still going to be able to pick off a drone or two as well.
Wait, isn't this going to be better for Namshar? Wait.
Well, viOLet's evened up the drone count now, and he's actually droning up behind us back home. Namshar's just now started some drones, so viOLet will have a couple drone lead. This is nice, especially considering that he had a drone not mining there too.
I'm a little surprised that Namshar lost so many drones to that. I felt that was a little unnecessary, but... getting his own speed now.
He fought like that choke. He didn't wait for the lings to enter the mineral line, so he couldn't drone drill.
Yeah, I feel it's a bit a little over eager by Namshar. Namshar does look like he will be going for a baneling nest with this, as he's still mining gas. Looks like viOLet will be doing the same too.
Yeah. Well, so viOLet's... I mean, we were pretty much in this situation yesterday, right? We were basically like, okay, viOLet got a bunch of drone kills, so... now it comes down to the other guy needing to do something weird. And Namshar, of course, went straight into drones. Something crazy, because he did force out some links from viOLet by going for the counterplay. But viOLet had that couple of extra drones for a little bit longer. And, well, now it is even, so... you know,
I always thought 10 pool, or 9 pool even, did way better against 15 hatch than that did. Like, am I just... like, why is this...
keep in mind, he still lost. I mean, he still lost a good amount of resources, but sometimes you only build 6 lings or 8 lings. He built like 10, or maybe it was going up to 8. That made it not as easy to get a lead off of. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not a Zerg player.
Neither am I, Nathaniel.
You've been Grandmaster on like NA server, which is Zerg though. You've been like top GM.
I mean, yeah, but that's on NA, dude. Like, you can beat NA Zerg.
So you just choose people. You're like, I'm not really sure why I'm winning.
Like, occasionally, like, you know, I used to just ling all in Zergs, and it used to work.
Yeah, just out-micro them.
But also, like, a lot of the time, on other servers, you don't really need to play sensible. Oh, that was a nice trade for Namshar. 2 veins for 3.
2 for 3. Damn.
But also, I wasn't GM with my Zerg. I only used to play Zerg occasionally.
I thought you were.
No, I like didn't have a Zerg account, you know. I just used to play on my main with Zerg. So I
mean, I saw you winning, so I just assumed that you were that level.
Yeah, like that was back in Winning to Liberty too. That was when Zerg was Imba.
You mean if you get pathogen glands and it finishes, you win the game?
Yeah,
I remember that.
By the way, this is actually looking pretty okay for Namshar now, I think.
Yeah, I think it recovered reasonably well. viOLet built maybe more lings than he needed to defend the small ling counter that Namshar made after viOLet's initial push ended.
Because, I mean, now Namshar, he's produced 7 drones at once. He killed the Overlord too, so for a small period of time, he's going to be ahead in drones. Though viOLet will be catching up momentarily.
Like, neither player has any lead in tech, so all things considered, looking at the drone counts, I don't necessarily dislike this position for...
Now, I always
either.
like this. In a moment of madness, you send 2 lings into your opponent's base, trying to switch them into banelings. But Namshar did actually see that happening, so he wasn't taken for a ride there. Both droning up, both going to be at very similar drone counts.
Yeah, viOLet wants to build.
Okay, this is the bit that confuses me. Like the armor above like roach attacks, because that's the one deviation in their play right now.
I don't like it.
No, me neither. Me neither. I mean, I guess, like, even if you want it for your lings for cancelling your opponent's third, you're going to get it the same time that your opponent gets, like, roach attacks. But, I mean, I don't know, Nathanius. I don't know.
Yeah.
You're just going to meh.
It's good if you're playing against Zerglings or Banelings. But in any other scenario, like have I tortured you enough yet with the roach upgrade math? This was like I had like a big article I never ended up like putting out about it, but I did a lot of research into what upgrades actually did. And for roaches, +1 attack takes the total number of hits you need to kill another roach from 11 to 9, and +1 carapace sets that to 10. So you still kill the other roaches faster. +1 attack for roaches is the only upgrade that actually takes 2 hits off. All the other ones put it up by 1.
I remember you can't... Oh, that was nice. Using the bailing to try and get extra damage on that drone.
You prevented it with the third from being placed, which is nice.
Right. But yeah, you did talk to me about that math. You talked about that math when you first came over.
Yeah, man.
Because I think you were saying...
I take pride in knowing things like that, because it's not necessarily useless. It shows... I think it pretty clearly demonstrates why this is less than ideal, but like I guess he gets carapace for his queens now, too, and
I mean,
his drones are a little harder to snipe. I don't know.
I mean, for your queens, you also get attack with them, with the attack upgrade, so...
Well, unless he was going to use Zerglings himself, then his wouldn't be two-shotted by roaches that have +1 of the other guy, but...
Now, viOLet, upon being, like, behind a base right now, he does have a drone lead, a very small one, very slight, but does choose to put up a second Evo, so he is going to work on his armor upgrade simultaneously with his +2 attack. And the way that finishes, it will be like +2 attack finishing with +1 armor. So that's really nice, given that level 2 upgrade takes a little bit longer than level 1 upgrade. So that's kind of cool. That's like a little timing that he could take advantage of. If he does start his +1 armor, I mean, definitely be worthwhile, given that you invested in an Evo chamber, which is not just the 75 minerals for the Evo, but it's also the 50 minerals for the drone.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing it, but... either that, or I want to see him go for Burrow with Roach move. I always love the Burrow Roach move.
One really nice opening that Namshar has to take advantage of here, so his mining's been a little bit better for quite a bit longer, given that third base, but his +1 attack will finish a little bit earlier than the +2 attack of viOLet. So I think that's a really big timing window with the extra resources that he's had for as long as he's had to take advantage of here.
Yeah. Yeah, I totally agree. I think this +2 opens a big window for viOLet. Namshar's got a good amount of roaches, but he's putting a...
I think Namshar's actually quite far ahead right now, Nathanius. Despite droning up behind this. In fact, even with droning up behind this, I think this is still a good move.
A solid hold could do quite a bit for him, I think. I think it'd be a really, really solid hold for him. Like, if he defends this, then he has a massive lead because of the upgrades, but otherwise, no.
Well, like, look at the upgrade, though, Nathanius. The +1 attack, that finishes way before the +2 attack. Like, way before. So, he's got a bigger supply army, too. A good 25 supply lead in that regard. So, when that +1 attack finishes, bam! If he piles on the pressure, and which By the looks of it, he's going for it.
He's going to try. I mean, viOLet gets his roaches up close and
+1
personal.
attack's finished.
Yeah.
So right now, much better upgrades.
Yeah, he's got that whole upgrade advantage, so one less attack required to actually take him out here. But he has the defender's advantage to be able to reinforce more quickly. It's still tricky. Even with the queen here, it's not quite enough. No energy for transfuse. Just falling back to the spine crawler is nice, though. Resources
lost tab, though, Nathanias. Is he going to focus the correct evo? Oh, going for the roach one.
Wow.
This could be huge. Oh, he's not going to finish it off, though.
You know, spending those attacks on that and not actually being able to pick it off definitely hurts in a lot of ways. So he does come in, and the reinforcement still coming across the map for Namshar. He's trying to hammer this one in. I'm not entirely sure if he'll be able to do that, though.
Namshar's got this, man. He's got this.
Oh, he's got so many more roaches on the way.
Bam! GG is called.
And a nice victory for Namshar there against...
And you know, like, we could see everything that was happening, obviously, with his timing windows that he could take advantage of, and he utilized that very well. Delayed the third, where he had his own third up. Then he said to himself, okay, I went for the armor, then I went for the +1 attack afterwards on 1 evo.
Yeah.
And he got to see that his opponent had 2 evos. And he just utilized his timing very well.
Yeah, it was so interestingly that panned out. Like,
he also was against a 10 or 9 pool while going hatch first, so very impressive by Namshar.
Yeah, all things considered, with the number of drones that viOLet killed at the start of the game, like, after it was all over, like, I remember looking, and there was 2 drones in production for Namshar, but it was like 13 versus 18. And then Namshar used the lings that he had built to defend. He sent them across, and like viOLet built, I think viOLet built like 8 or 10 lings. Like he was expecting a big counterattack. Because then it was 17 to 18 drones, and I'm like, if both players are building an even number of stuff, like I didn't feel like if Namshar wasn't going to build any more lings, which he didn't because he went straight into drones, I felt 2 or 4 lings with the queen should have been able to defend.
Yeah,
but I don't know. Maybe viOLet, you know.
I think
I'm sure he had a good reasoning for like why the drone count evened out so quickly after the way that game opened.
I think Namshar just played well. Like he managed to recover from a pretty crappy situation.
Yeah. He definitely played well.
But yeah, like that some moves by viOLet were questionable. Like, and it was like thinking moves were questionable, not like micro or like macro. It's just like, why are you making this choice? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? And yeah, like even when he started his +1 carapace in that like last game, it was just late. Like some things were just kind of.
And to be totally fair, it was still weird that Namshar went Carapace first, because if that attack relied on both upgrades being done, they take the same amount of time.
I mean, you could go for +1 attack and then +1 Carapace.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So,
and I mean, a little confusing, but it worked out for him. You know, like it is also kind of cool to rely on 1 evo to get those upgrades, because if you do get level 1. In that order, it's always going to be faster than your opponent getting level 1 attack and then level 2 attack.
Yeah, that's true. The +2 attack takes quite a bit longer.
But that being said, like since we have seen the return of viOLet and like he joined Team Envy, I'm not saying this is because he's joined Team Envy, but viOLet just hasn't been as impressive as we used to see him like a few years ago.
I think he took a long break at the end of the year, though. Like he like starting things up, because he's still good. Like he got into WCS, but you know, bowed out a bit earlier than I think a lot of people were expecting. And
who was in his group again? Oh, it's the group with like Mana and Major. Major, Bunny, yeah?
Yeah.
So, I mean, would people expect
That's a tough group. I don't think people expected Mana to play as well as he did, too. So.
Well, he cheesed his way out.
Yeah, but...
Did people expect him to get out? No, I don't think so.
No. I didn't look at that group and think that Mana was going to come out the way he did, so...
I kind of looked at that group and I was like, I think Bunny's going to make it for sure. And then it's a race for number 2. But Mana like managed to prove everybody wrong. But like, I knew that Mana's cheese is pretty strong cheese. But like, people when they look at Mana, they don't think like, oh yeah, he's a really good foreigner. Which they should. He is a really good foreigner. But he's also a super cheesy foreigner, which makes him very strong and scary. Even scarier than like a normal solid like macro Protoss, you know?
Yeah.
Because of the potential. But here we have a... Same build going out for both these guys.
viOLet's kind of always historically been the Korean that non-Koreans have most success against, I would say. Like, he's like the most vulnerable, it seems. Like, other guys, when they show up in the brackets, like the Koreans, like you see 4GG, like, generally, unless, you know, he has like a weird series against someone like Bly or Nurchio, who like do weird things to them. Like, those guys will beat most people on like a good day, but viOLet is, you know, he seems to... He plays the game a little bit more his own way, too, but like he seems to be the one that loses more to non-Koreans.
Yeah, he was definitely one of the Koreans that moved out earliest. Like, he moved out to play in, like, America before playing in America for Koreans was a thing, you know.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, exactly.
There was like him and Polt. Like I think did he move out before Polt?
I believe.
I remember seeing him in very early like Lone Star clashes and things like that, you know.
Yeah, he was because he went in and then he had that whole year where he didn't do anything because of something with his visa, and then he got the visa and then he came back last year.
Why wasn't he playing in Korea at all? When he was
idea.
in Korea,
I have no idea.
he seems to be a mystery.
Yeah.
I know in his Warcraft 3 career when he played for, I think it was SK Gaming, I know his house burnt down in Warcraft 3, which put a halt to his Warcraft 3 career for quite some time.
Yeah, that'll definitely mess you up for a little while.
Yeah, man, your house burning down, like, that shit messes you up. But, you know, he's definitely had quite a lot of results in StarCraft 2. And he's always been, like, in a way, he's always been the kind of, like, less good version of life with the way that he uses lings and, like, counterattacks all the time.
Yeah, well, I think any player, any Zerg that aspires to be good has to be active with the units they have on the map. Like,
but like if you play against viOLet and you're not prepared for those run bys, like he decimated Xenocider, like in the qualifier for WCS actually, and then in his WCS group he was sick because he was again the Surgeon Zerg.
Yeah.
So you know maybe he's just recovering. Because I mean,
that could be a good
being
point.
physically ill does take it is taxing on you. But so far, both these guys doing pretty much the exact same build here. We have a Baneling Nest both at the front, and you'll see how they spaced it, so they can fit their Queen in between that Baneling Nest and the hatchery. Lowers the surface area on the Queen considerably. Creep Tumor going out for viOLet.
Yeah, being able to tuck that Queen in is quite nice. Old school tactics, man. People have been doing this since day one. Well, day one of being able to take your natural. So when we moved away from the first maps, people started doing this.
Evo Chamber going down for Namshar relatively early here. Do you think he's going to use that for armor again? I mean, the gas has kind of timed it well for it.
For this setup, this army composition, I like it.
Look how
I don't think Carapace is bad in this particular scenario.
Look how close these guys are, by the way, with their tech choice and stuff. Oh, he goes for attack here, so probably going to be a Lair follow-up. Lair is going down for viOLet. Very much so a mirror game here. That Lair does kick in pretty soon. He's getting out an extra Queen on his natural.
Yeah, I guess when the Queen finishes, that's when he starts that. He takes the third. Well, that's also acceptable.
Okay.
Well, you really think... Like, the only thing I'm considering in my mind is it just does like a big Roach Bane push, which is still... Okay, he starts the lair. There we go. Just a little bit later. I was getting nervous.
Yeah, I mean, like, is there a
window? If he was going to do like an all-in with +1 attack for Roaches, he wouldn't have too big of a window. You need to go full Vortex and just get that Evo chamber at like 4 minutes and go insane.
Like, they're both doing the same thing by getting a lair and a third, except they're both doing it in very different ways. Okay, so he goes to try and... Nice little bit of micro from both of them. Oh, uses the Baneling to do that.
Get wrecked.
I'd cancel both these Banelings.
Ah.
Oh, okay.
Ah.
You see him, he was trapped.
Yeah. He still, I mean, he got 3 lings for it, so that actually wasn't too bad.
Ooh, got quite a few lings there, did viOLet, so I think these trades early on are actually going a little bit better for viOLet. Namshar is droning up behind this, whereas viOLet's busting out quite a few Roaches early on, maybe anticipating some pressure, so playing safe, but Namshar, no intention of all-inning or anything at this point in time.
No, nothing too crazy. The +1's coming close for both of them. Roach speed is very, very close as well.
Dancing with fire.
It's like you're not really fighting over anything in the center of the map. You know, the last place, that's thing I do is like run into those Banelings on accident.
I mean, what viOLet doesn't want is pressure over at his third, realistically, but his Roaches are out on the map now, and
he's
they will be able to defend.
These 2 Banes in. He's like, yeah, let's get some drones.
I mean,
he might. The Link's coming from the other side.
Wow.
Not bad. Actually softens up all of those drones, and viOLet will be able to clean out this mineral line very quickly. Actually quite impressive. Not bad at all.
viOLet takes a significant lead here, and he got those early Roaches because he was kind of worried about aggression, but he just chose to plant on his own aggression, and those Roaches came out very, very nicely timed to defend his own third against the Lings of Namshar, and Namshar definitely takes quite a hit here because of all that happening.
He's still been cranking out drones, though, so...
Yeah, Namshar's actually still ahead in drones.
That in and of itself is actually kind of impressive, but maybe he was only vulnerable because of his greed. But now the Roaches are coming.
Queen's vulnerable.
That Queen is exposed with quite a bit of energy. Namshar pulls it back onto the creep.
Does
not want to lose it.
Oh.
Yeah, good transfuses, good transfuses.
Definitely, but at his door there are quite a lot of Roaches here, and a lot of the army supply for Namshar is in production still. Whereas 15 roaches against 7 on the field, it looks like viOLet's just taking advantage of this small window that he had and doing it ever so awesomely.
Yeah, the drones right now would be a huge deal if he lost any, considering just how close it is as he's building some drones back home himself, taking the lead.
Yeah, I mean, viOLet's doing very well. Like, he's got enough roaches to single volley down roaches himself, and Namshar's just trying to tickle them from either side here. But viOLet, nice micro, nice unit control, finally has a number that he can kind of contest these roaches now. But it was a very nice bit of unit control by viOLet there, and also utilizing a window. Like ZVZ is a lot about those little timing windows. Which tech do you get first? Is it lead? Do you get a third first? And viOLet, fortunately for him, he took perfect advantage of every situation he's been granted so far.
Yeah, playing pretty well. +2 attack is coming close for both players now.
5 overlords all at once, so a nasty supply block for Namshar here. And viOLet taking a good 30 supply lead, given that he's been able to produce roaches. And, this ain't good for Namshar.
No, his +2 will finish just barely ahead of his opponents, but with the number of roaches that should be coming across the map, not sure how much of an impact that will have. Easy ran in from the side, did a little more harass.
Ooh, working his way up into the natural here.
Oh, I love this. Just split some between all the mineral lines and basically just continue to rally across the map. Never let him get into a good spot. Here he is, all over that natural mineral line.
And still dealing damage to the third. I believe Namshar left behind a few roaches to deal with that, which he has. Namshar actually has an upgrade lead during this small period of time, but the amount of mining lost for Namshar, it's really, really starting to work on him. 51 drones to 39. viOLet's killed a lot of drones on the field. Again, pressuring that third base.
Yeah, he's still killing drones over there. He's still killing drones in the natural. And, yeah, Namshar, he's taking a serious drone loss at this point, considering that he's still building just roaches. Like, he just won't be able to afford as many. violet's already banking resources because he doesn't have enough gas income. He's like floating tons of minerals. Like, I'm so rich. I'm so rich I actually can't build an army. Like, I didn't realize I'd be able to afford to.
No, and he is making an extra extractor to compensate for this lack of gas that he has. Actually, he's got an extra gas there that he hasn't utilized yet. But 5 gases for viOLet. Going to have very solid production. Namshar trying to re-establish his economy here by producing 8 drones all at once. Does get up to a pretty healthy count of 50 again. But viOLet, healthier drone count, healthier army. Even though it's only slightly healthier, it is healthier, which, nice little bit of micro here by Namshar.
Yeah.
Loses the roach eventually anyhow. So
Doing
it
what
was
he can.
all in vain. All in vain.
He tried. He tried.
Now, Namshar is actually investing in Carapace, which, in a situation like this, maybe he believes that his opponent is investing in Carapace, in which he doesn't want to fall far behind in that regard. But it looks like viOLet is just kind of saying, hey, I think I can kill you pretty soon. And just planning on busting out a ton of roaches here.
Yeah, I mean, with how long he's had this worker lead, he should just be able to produce a substantially larger army, and in doing so, crush him. Just absolutely punch this one in. The upgrades will eventually favor Namshar because he's getting a +1 carapace, but not sure how much more. So what has this overseer been doing? Is he just going to contaminate that hatchery? The natural?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Contaminate graphic is so cool.
Delaying the production. If only it could. Some people have been like, that should be able to stop command centers from moving when they're in the air.
Please. Contaminate. It's not, hey, you're floating. In fact, I mean, why would it stop it from moving? If anything, it would make it land and that way stop moving, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
Blizzard don't do that.
I don't know. There was something that used to be able to do that was really weird. I'm thinking about it. What didn't Corruptors used to have? Oh man.
Corruptors?
I remember there was something weird in beta that you could do in that area.
The Corruptors used to have Contaminate instead.
There was I think it was something else in like beta and wings. But a lot of things were different. He's gonna move in here with a big number of roaches. The +1 carapace is actually done for Namshar, so in theory his roaches are better. He's getting a good spread out here. He does have the defender's advantage at the same time, but he's down on drones like he's been for the last long while. So the actual ability to produce roaches is quite limited, and he finds himself slowly slipping. He's been down about 6 or 7 or so roaches this whole fight.
Whenever you see roaches dancing in the back and your opponent's got this lovely line, And like Namshar had all these dancing roaches that just wanted to get in on that fight but just couldn't. Like that's always a nasty position to be in as a Zerg. You should never let that happen in these concave situations. But Namshar does have Burrow.
Yeah, really good use of Burrow to regenerate the health on his army. That's definitely one way that he can win a fight if viOLet goes for another push with his next wave of roaches, and many of his are weakened.
Hydra though.
But the Hydralisks are going to complicate things.
What Hydras do that Roaches do not do is damage. They do a lot of damage, while Roaches have the backbone, like they have a lot of health. They deal relatively okay damage per shot, and so armor doesn't affect them as much. Hydras, they
attack ridiculously fast.
Ridiculously fast.
And the time that a Roach is going to do that 20 damage off of its +2 attack, the Hydra's done like 30 some, and its third attack is on the way.
I think Hydras do something like, I'm going to say it's like 150% extra damage on top of a Roach for each supply, but you can't have an army of pure Hydra because they have like half the health of a Roach.
Yeah. So Roaches can still kill them very quickly.
Exactly. So all these Overlords that were very happily sitting on the map as nothing shot up, they no longer can do that. Namshar,
he's going for the counter. He's like, well, okay, let me just hope that I can pull you back home, as he does have a lot of forces moving out. But viOLet getting ready now, moving in up towards the third base of Namshar. These Roaches will not be able to defend. He's going to pull the drones away too. Just, everybody run for your lives.
And Namshar, yeah, he's going to start going for the base trade. And I guess he kind of geared up mentally for it earlier. So if he can get away with a lot of his drones and start hiding buildings and such while killing his opponent.
Yeah, a couple of drones did escape for viOLet.
But are they getting hunted down there?
No, 3 of them escaped.
Oh, I mean, that's kind of...
that is a big deal.
I believe a little bit of a mistake, actually. Like,
there's also a hatchery in the very top position where he could try to squeeze out a couple of drones, too, from that larva. But viOLet's actually running out of money. viOLet can no longer afford to build a hatchery. Okay, he canceled something, so he can now. But
he produced a lot of Hydras all at once, though. Yeah. I mean, depending on where he produced these, like, are they at his main?
Yeah, I'm not actually sure where he just built all those.
Maybe it is third base?
The third base.
Oof.
But he should kill... Yeah, actually, Namshar should be able to kill these.
So we do have a hatchery hiding on the right side, but... Oh, I mean... Yeah. It's kind of nice when
you want that burst damage. Oh, he's trying to get Overseer. He doesn't have Burrow, does he? I guess just kill everything you can. Why not?
The worrisome thing, like... Namshar actually did have drones, or Roaches following those drones, but he just let them go, but... This ultimately comes down to, hey, there's only 4 drones on the field for viOLet at this point in time.
Yeah, his ability to make buildings is very, very limited. And he doesn't want to have them all too close to each other, and they're all together. So, at this point, what viOLet's just saying, like, my army's bigger. I'm just gonna sit here and. Well, this is an awkward situation.
It's a very awkward situation. Very, very, very awkward indeed. And I mean, that's enough of an army that I think. In fact, I don't want to.
I don't know how to feel about this.
Like, the army of viOLet is better. Namshar cannot just beat down that army and win. And but there's only one structure for viOLet, and all his drones are there, so that's 4 drones on the spot, is it?
In theory...
5 drones.
In theory, if he could get on top of the hatch, but Roaches don't have enough range, like, he'd never make it. He'd never kill that hatchery.
No, you just block with your army.
Yeah.
Did you see Shine and Rogue in Pro League?
I did not.
Really cool ZVZ.
Was it something like this?
Yeah.
The only nice thing for Namshar is he does have... He had more drones that he skipped out of his base, so his income will be higher. But as far as recovering goes, that's still very tricky.
Yeah, I mean, he's got multiple hatcheries up, and luckily in base trade scenarios for ZVZ, you get all your overlords out too, so you're still supply-wise pretty fine.
Yeah. Spawning pools are being replaced now.
Those 25-second to build supply depots that fly, that scout, take 5 seconds less time than a depot.
Can drop creep, turn into overseers.
That also survive in base trade situations.
You know what my favorite thing to do in the StarCraft 2 Wings of Liberty beta was? When they were experimenting with the overseer and it could drop infested Terrans, man. That was sick. Yeah, there was a moment where you could do that.
That's funny.
For 50 energy. Or no, it was 100 energy and overseer could drop an infested Terran.
Just one?
Just one. It was either 50 or 100, but like my friend and I, we just like you open, you scout, you get your lair, and you just have the overseer behind their mineral line on like Shattered Temple, and you just come in every little bit and just drop infested Terrans.
You're that guy, eh?
It was fun. It was fun.
You know, when I first played the beta, my first strat was Marine Tank, But like, I got to play this at a Blizzard regional when I was like 18, 19, I believe. I played against Groby and I owned him. But like, because he played Zerg back then. But like, then my next strat was just massing Ravens. Like the next game after that.
Yeah, well, you were already sick.
Just
Sick man.
Just turrets, man. Turrets are so cool.
Can Namshar actually make this work now?
I mean,
like he's only this close in supply because he has 10 drones. So, and the army of viOLet is still better.
Like, I think viOLet's doing the perfect thing here, sprinkling off just enough units to take out that base. If you see on the right side, that's perfect.
Yeah, he has nothing to save this. He's got.
I mean,
yeah.
Oh,
Libero.
That's
but
a nice
that doesn't fix the problem because now he's forced the army to come into the center of the map, and viOLet getting some big trades.
Big trades. Like Namshar.
What's he gonna do? He's just gonna run and try to snipe this hatch?
Namshar's going for it.
Namshar's going for it.
viOLet should sprinkle off his drones now. Like if you go right, if you go left. There we go. There we go.
Very smart play.
I mean, this is too much. This is too much infrastructure right here for Namshar to really kill all of it.
Yep.
Oh,
his army. Look at this. He's going to force field him in the human wall. There's no escape to Muslim.
This is GG.
viOLet's got him.
Yes, this is clean by viOLet. This is clean.
Now, viOLet cannot afford to build another hatchery, but it doesn't matter. GG. GG.
No re, but there is a re. Third game between Namshar and viOLet. 1-1 series. Did you expect that?
I didn't think Namshar was going to win the first game after the way it opened.
No, me neither.
I thought it was going to be 2-1, maybe 2-0 for viOLet. Maybe viOLet would have lost the second game, but I mean, if he had won the first, I mean.
Right.
So, I'm impressed a little bit. Namshar's play, I think.
Decent play, right?
Yeah. Like going for the base trade when he realized that he's like, man, I'm just too far behind. I can understand that because it happens a lot, like in our matchup in TVT, where you're just like, can't fight them, pick everything up.
When you said our matchup, I was like, you and me played TVT, and like,
well, you know what I mean. As Terrans, our matchup, Terran versus Terran.
I know what you mean now.
When you're just like, man, I don't think I could beat this guy in a straight up fight.
I like that. Yeah.
I hate that. I absolutely hate playing TVT.
Really?
It's my least favorite matchup.
I started enjoying it a lot more recently, but TVT.
I haven't lost my soul and started to doom drop everybody, so I really hate it.
That.
See, I hate the matchup because I'm like, all right, secured on 3 bases, let's move out.
No, man.
Take 2 steps.
2 bases, 5 racks, 2 factory. You go. That's what Dream does, dude, and he's in the final of a tournament right now. No shame. Play without shame, Nathanius.
You have to tell me which games I need to look at.
If there's anybody that taught me that playing without shame is a good thing to do, it is 4GG.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is, you can play without shame versus a Zerg and have 3 command centers, but not versus Terran. Oh well. We're loaded into game number 3. Boys and girls, it's on Vani Research Station.
Now, I actually think this is by far the best of the new maps.
I don't think anybody really dislikes this map except people who have to play versus Snoot and Firecake.
I mean, I think Protosses kind of don't like it that much against Terran, in a way.
Nah.
The natural being
it's not as bad as Catalina, though. Only reason Protoss don't like this map, let's be honest, it's so narrow that you can't hide stuff as easily.
I mean, there's still so much space to hide things.
Yeah, but I think that's like the biggest thing because like Protoss will complain about the drops, but like I'm not 100% convinced that it's like impossible to defend.
Oh, I don't think it's impossible either.
But yeah, but when you talk to a Protoss, that's not how they say it.
I mean, for PvT, I think it's in the map pool now. Like, what maps are pretty crappy? I think Secret Spring's actually quite a poor map. For all the matchups, like
nobody likes to play on. Well, the thing is, like Secret Springs,
Protoss love it against Zerg because Zerg can't do anything.
The thing is, if people were forced to play Secret Springs in like Pro League, that's when you'd see really crazy stuff. Because
I think you just see 2-base Protoss all in every game against Zerg.
But like I feel like people would do like weird stuff around like the rocks or whatever.
The thing is, like, there is crazy stuff that could be done, but the fact that certain things are just so strong on that map. You don't get the potential to see those things happening unless your opponent lets you do those kind of things. So, like, I feel that when you have a map that forces you into a certain style and one style only, because it's just the best style, I feel that that's when it's a bad map. For example, Secret Spring for Protoss against Zerg. Like, how does a Zerg take a third on that map?
Yeah, that's not possible.
It's like Terran against Zerg. Zerg taking a third on the map's pretty hard too.
Yeah, once you situate yourself in the middle.
And TVT on that map, have you been 8 racks Reapered yet?
Oh yeah, that's
yeah.
Every other game is Proxy Marauder.
Yeah, dude.
On this map, I get Proxy Reaper and Marauder all the time.
Really?
Yeah, this map I get proxied a ton.
NA, man.
No, I mostly play Korea ladder now.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool, man. Are you getting better?
Last time I checked, I was top 800, so not great, but
top 800.
800, yeah.
What do you mean?
Like on Nios, I was like 750 something on the server.
Wait, what do you mean? Like
as far as points or whatever go.
Oh,
like Nios KR ranking.
Okay. So you use a separate website to check your ranking.
Yeah,
like,
you don't know about Nios? Well,
I don't even know how you spell that.
It's pretty sick. It's very sick.
Anyhow, what's happening here, Nathanius? So we have viOLet with a small drone lead right now, producing a couple of queens. So I guess he went for the hatch first build.
Yeah.
By the looks of it.
Yeah. These lings, they really shouldn't be able to do too much. Like, one of the benefits is...
Oh, dear.
Oh, wow, he gets locked in.
Oh,
He really couldn't escape from that? Ouch.
No.
Well, that sucks.
Oh, and loses... Oh, you're going to lose it again.
Run, little ling. You can make it.
I mean, that is not a good start for Namshar. So he got he got reasonably early lings out, ran in, tried to kill a drone, then got trapped. He's not got speed on the way. In fact, he's not got a gas at all on the way, so he will take a bit of a drone lead. His opponent's getting link speed, getting Bingling Nest. I mean, one of the nice things about this map, if you go gasless, is you don't have that huge choke in your natural to hold off, so you don't need to even produce like Evo chambers or anything like that. You can just hold it off with like 2 queens and a spine behind against pretty much anything. Oh, having to pull drones here. Oh, is that queen still going to pop?
Oh, if he got it, it'd be quite nice. And he could go all the way. Gets it.
Oh, so he's producing a random spine in the middle of his base there. And viOLet, upon killing that queen, producing 16 lings. And the Bailing Nest is almost complete.
Yeah, he's getting ready to put on another wave of pressure. And also... get himself a little bit of future-proofing with the lair.
You know, if I saw what I see, like, my opponent... I mean, the only way that this is going to work is if he doesn't get his second queen to that ramp, which I don't believe Namshar's going to. I don't believe he's going to do it. But, like, I don't know why he didn't do it. I guess he had to lava inject over on the right side. But with a Spine Crawler in production, which viOLet saw, like, wall off, right now, wall off. Do it. Oh, he's misclicking. He misclicked, but still gets it in time. Okay. The reason that he clicked on his own queen. But, you know, I actually feel this is kind of okay for Namshar now.
Yeah. I mean, he's getting a little bit... well, the drone losses definitely aren't that nice for him, but...
But 16 lings on the field, like... viOLet...
yeah, they're not going to do anything.
viOLet should definitely, like, get a third up.
Yeah, viOLet's going straight up to mutas, it looks like.
Why are there so many lings for Namshar?
Not actually sure.
I guess that was a huge overreaction.
Yeah, that's what it feels like to me. But it's not like viOLet didn't make a lot of lings himself. Actually, that if anything, that's like a favorite of viOLet because he's going up to his Spire now. But
viOLet's got similar drone count.
But viOLet built like a lot of lings that, as you mentioned, he couldn't use because of the wall off. So
right, yeah. I mean, that's very fortunate for viOLet that Namshar overreacted. Like, that's a good 10 drones right there of lings that are speedless, and he's having to get speed now.
Oh, and he's going to deny this third base. He's trying to jockey for positioning with that Baneling.
Yeah,
he manually detonated it. Got 3 kills. I mean, he got something. Did you know, to Muslim, that if you freeze frame a replay, you can see...
by freeze frame, you mean pause.
Like, yeah, basically. You can... someone, like, on like, posted this thing on, like, Reddit where they could have the Baneling go through, and he went through it in such slow motion that the instant the Baneling exploded, before it registered that there wasn't a Baneling anymore after the attack happened, you could actually see a kill counter on it. That's pretty sick.
That is cool. Ooh, I mean, if he... oh, I was about to say, if he timed that correctly, you can... I was going to say, you can actually Baneling explode the hatchery. But, you know, there was too many lings for Namshar. So I'm pretty much guessing that viOLet did not expect that many lings coming out, because I did not expect that many lings coming out. I mean, he's going to try and force pressure here, cancelling the third most likely. Muta's on the way for viOLet, trying to rush out some lings as well to be a little bit of a buffer here.
Oh, he's got the Ramp Banes.
Ramp Banes are so cool, man. We've seen them utilized quite a bit. In fact, it was viOLet using Ramp Banes, wasn't it? Yesterday.
Yeah. It's like a reverse slip and slide of death. It's pretty cool.
What's a slip and slide?
Never mind.
Oh, he could have blown him up there.
He's still doing well.
Oh, this is there's going to be a lot of dead overlords on the field, though, guys. And why? What? He did not expect me. Oh, okay.
Wow.
He did not expect mutas whatsoever here.
Wow, that was ouch. You really don't know what a slip and slide is.
I'm guessing they're those long things that you pour water and like soak liquid down.
Then you like run forward and you like dive on them.
Okay,
Yeah. To me, I compare creep to slip and slide for Zerg a lot.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I guess they are kind of slip and slidey. Yeah. They had one of those going through like a whole city one time.
That's really hardcore.
Yeah.
Talk about a way to tour a new place.
It looked really awesome, man. Like I wanted to try it. So here we have mutas on the map. Big supply block for Namshar here. viOLet's still making a lot of lings. So I guess like I find that a little unusual.
Yeah, I mean, the mutas have pretty much staked their claim on the map. So he's going to try to go to Hydralisk Infestor. Infestors to fungal and hold them in place. Hydralisks to pick them off. Man, I tried playing some more Zerg lately on like an account I have that's like for just off racing stuff. And man, in ZVZ, trying to play Hydras versus mutas is actually really frustrating because you feel like your Hydras can do a lot. Then you realize that mutas have so many more hit points than Hydralisks that they actually wreck them in low numbers.
Sick detonate, and the Spore Crawler is down, but yeah,
he's not. It doesn't seem like Hydras are even going to be a factor in this game.
No, I mean that Spore Crawler is just finishing up, maybe just in time to save a couple of these queens, and yes, it does finish up.
Nice, but he's still taking a lot of heat.
A lot of heat, and look at the drone count, 70 to 53. But yeah, you're totally right. And mutas, like, say if you have like 20 mutas and you fight against like 10 Hydra, you think, oh yeah, my Hydra are going to do pretty okay. But no, they get freaking wrecked,
man. Because you can trickle out a few Marines to hold off, to push away mutas, but you can't trickle out like 3 or 4 Hydras and push mutas back. Like, Hydras get wrecked.
They're insanely expensive, and like Hydras really do only have one purpose. They are the ultimate glass cannons. At least Marines are like reasonably stocky, like 55 health for a 50 mineral Marine, whereas the Hydra, 80 health on that 150 investment that you just got. And I mean, these mutas, they are actually still dealing quite a bit of damage here. Like, not a ton, but
viOLet's not even thinking about the mutas anymore. He's got a gargantuan number of roaches on the way.
Yeah, and that's his real killing blow here. Namshar, yeah, he's going to have an upgrade lead with a +2 attack actually finishing very soon. But whoa, these mutas actually going to kill this base?
This would be pretty sick to Muslim. The Spore Crawlers
kills queens too. Oh my gosh.
Getting the queens, getting the everything at this point.
Oh my. This is really, really bad news for Namshar.
Yeah, he hasn't even started any Hydralisks either, it looks like, so.
And
viOLet gets pretty much everything that he could possibly want, and now the roaches are coming to, well, ring the bell.
I feel this is one of those situations where Namshar just got a little bit flustered. Like,
what did Namshar just dump his whole bank into? He just spent all his money. Okay, roaches now? Did he actually get any infestors?
Infestors,
4.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I mean, that's cool and stuff, but this is just a numbers game right now.
Yeah, and the numbers are favoring viOLet.
I just feel this is one of those situations where Namshar, he was 1-0 up against a very famous Korean player, and I feel that nerves got the best of him because there was some decision making that definitely was not on point here.
Yeah, pretty rough game for him. I mean,
these mutas in the main base trying to wreak a little bit of havoc here.
Yeah, he's got his so the mutas go for the main mineral line while these roaches basically just wait. And now they're gonna move in. Now he's ready to go. He's ready to rock and roll. +2 attack doesn't matter when your opponent has so many more forces than you. The fungal growths don't seem like they're gonna tip the scale either to Muslim.
No, they do not. I mean, 180, 190 supply against 80 supply.
Nope, wasn't gonna work. Not today, not tomorrow, never. He's gonna rush in, finish everything off. The Spore actually ended up killing all the Mutalisks, but I mean, he traded them away, whatever. So,
yeah.
He's got it. GG, good luck, says Namshar. And viOLet advances on.
Well played.
Well played.